What's going on, Wamb?
What's happening? What's going on?
Still feeling last night.
Ride
With J. Alexander.
J. Alexander, some drinks, some good food. It's pretty pricey though. That's for damn sure.
What you think the tab? What you think the tab was at?
$250.
And with the $250, what type of tip? We was debating on the tip. The tipping price was it 10-15%? What you do?
15%. It's 15%. Yeah.
What you think about the service? The food was alright.
It was good. Everything was good. Drinks good.
I see. You got the new Beatnik hoodie.
Yeah, the Beatnik hoodie. Merch, limited edition. We everybody like the shirts we did, but we got to come back with some different pieces for the website. And
the first shirts you got good. We feel like we got a pretty good response on that.
Yeah, those were classic. We got coming back with some more of those. But now we got the ones with the we got the logo on the back. The other one just had the plain umbrella, but now we got the logo on the back. Something that's more shiny, that's the women can really gravitate to, and the younger kids.
What's that? Is that vinyl? What's that you got on the front? It's like glitter. It's like glitter or something.
It's shiny. I don't know if that's vinyl.
I don't know.
I don't know if it's vinyl.
What's that on the back? That's vinyl, right?
I don't
know. The back piece of Shoelace Project?
I don't know. On yours is different. Mine is the same on both.
Right.
I don't know what that material is. But the sweater is soft. It ain't heavy and nothing like that. So it feel good.
Especially for the Florida weather.
For the Florida weather, yeah.
I want to encourage everybody, too, that might be listening. We got the podcast now. We got it on Spotify. We got it on Tabernacle. We got it on Spotify. We got it on the Apple. And when you see the link, I urge you people to, if they like what they hear, to go ahead and donate, leave a tip, and
yeah, we can keep the episodes coming. We can keep more content. Keep the merch coming.
And also, definitely they're sponsoring, but I also want to say that Beatnik the movie itself is I would say one of our biggest sponsors, being that we put so much hard work and blood, sweat, and tears into the project.
Yeah. It's an anchor to hold everything that we got going, so we can launch merch, we can do podcasts, we can get into a variety of different fields, and so Beatnik is the anchor to hold everything down, basically.
Oh, but while we talking about Beatnik, a lot of people been hitting me up on the Beatnik page, Beatnik the movie on Facebook, Instagram, and they've been asking about, because just 2 months ago we was on Amazon Prime, Google Play, Tubi, and all those things.
Yeah.
And I know it's been a lot of back and forth as far as the streaming. A lot of streaming is relatively new to us as content people that make content and stuff like that. And we decided to take our movie off of these platforms and put it on directly onto our website, which it was already on our website, beatnikmovie.myshopify.com.
Right.
You want to explain kind of like why we took it off those other platforms?
Yeah, I think that is for now. I think it's better to have it on just a couple platforms that we can more monitor, because right now, well, for one, we went through an aggregator and then they got bought out and went out of business. Distributor. Yeah. So
without no warning too.
Without no warning, so it was it's just a lot of different stuff changing in the streaming field. In fact, I was hearing that it's not only do you got the streaming services now, but you got more to come that we don't know about, but other people in the industry know about. Like, it's more streaming services to come. So it's a lot of different changes that's being made that you might be affected by if you got content, but you don't even know why you're being affected by it. So really, for us, like, just to have it on our site, we got hard copies, we got our merch, but also like to have it on Amazon Prime, and that's pretty much it until we figure out the rest, and then we can decide here and there where we want to have it at, because you really can't tell, you know what I'm saying, like
what the stream is, what the full stream is.
You don't know how many streams you get, and they might tell you got 10, you might got 1 million.
Right.
You might got 1 million streams.
Right.
In one day.
Right. And then true.
And you will have no way of knowing how many streams, and you got no way of negotiating to say, man, I think I deserve more for that. So you it's really up there to make it accessible for everybody else, which is cool. But if we're gonna do that, just have it on direct people to Amazon Prime, which the numbers is a little better than the rest of the other.
We'll be back on there pretty soon,
and we can go directly through them. We ain't got to go through no aggregator, so that's better basically.
So right now you can go ahead and get the movie on beatnikmovie.myshopify.com if you want to buy directly from us. And I appreciate everybody who came. That first day we did over like 500 units just from word of mouth, just from the following and the mixes that we did. So I want to salute everybody on that. And just be on the lookout for it to be on Amazon Prime within the next probably couple weeks, right?
Right, yeah, a couple weeks.
We just gonna no aggregator, just go ahead and put it up ourselves.
Yeah,
cut out the middleman or some sort of, I guess, you know.
Yeah.
You know, so, but other than that, I want to get into the interview. I got a guy that I've been following.
Right.
I look up to as a mentor, somebody that I feel like the city can come to. They look up to him. They respect him, and I always want to interview him. And now I finally got the chance to finally interview him. So let's go ahead and get that.
Let's get it.
Let's get it cracking on that.
You can press.
What's going on, man? I know a lot of people know you as what they refer to you as Keith, whatever. You know, what do you prefer to go by nowadays?
I prefer, Keith or whatever, whatever people want to call me. It ain't no specific name now. I used to be strict on names, on what I want to be called, but, it is what it is.
And when did you adopt the name Mtundu?
Probably like the early mid 90s. A guy from this organization, he the one gave me that name. From what he thought that was presentable for who I was. So.
And the what Mtundu
Dialobe Mtundu Jagun, and it means heroic soldier of the community. And he just thought that was fit for me, because he noticed the kind of work that I was doing in the community.
And when he gave you that name, what made you say, okay, I go ahead and accept this? You didn't shun him. You just accepted that name and just said.
Well, at first, no, I didn't accept it.
Okay, you did.
I really didn't want that name, and I think I didn't want it because I think the first name, that's what he presented to me first as using Dialobe as the first name. And I kind of I didn't want that because it sounded too common. I wanted something that sounded more African. So I say I choose Mtundu to be the first name other than Dialobe. So that's kind of how that went.
And how did people feel about that knew you all your life as Keith, and now you telling them, hey, man, call me this? Or did you make it where you, like you say, you were kind of strict in the beginning? You forced them to call you Mtundu, or did you kind of let them say Keith at the same time?
Yeah, I was kind of adamant about, the African name because, what I hadn't learned in the past about, who he was, where we come from. So I was kind of strict on people calling me Mtundu because I wanted to, that I wanted to be represented as a pure African, at the time.
Okay. And okay, so take me back until we in St. Petersburg, Florida. Take me back to Keith Stewart, and who was Keith Stewart as a child and coming up? What was that like?
Well, I believe, I had a decent life, but I always aspired to have, things in life, that I seen that others had. And, I just thought that, me growing up, I just felt like I, deserved to have a good life. Just observing other people's lives, that's how I think I went by. Just observing on what I seen, that how people can live opposed to how I was living as coming up as a young boy. So I think that's where that came from.
As a young boy, did you travel outside the city, or were you pretty much predominantly in St. Petersburg?
When I was younger, we traveled. I think when I was younger, me and my homeboy, excuse me, it was adventurous, as teenagers. I think when I first got my learner's permit to drive, I used to get my grandmother's car and just get my homeboys, stack them up in the car, and we'd go to local cities, around Florida and just represent. We from St. Pete, at age 15, all the way up till I was a teenager, 17, 18.
And what was that response when y'all went to other places?
I think it was good because the way we approached folks, it was more in like a manner where, we show respect, because, it was like, you going to a different city. It's like you want your first thing to do when you jump out of the car, you want to show love.
Right.
And when you show love and you show happiness and you partying and you dancing, people are attracted to that. People that smiling and laughing. So I think it was easier for us to go to a city, like that, without having a big head or having a grudge on our shoulders, like we just taking over their city. But we were just saying, like, we some happy dudes, man. We want to bring some joy to y'all, from how we were.
Okay, and as a kid, you was always that type of happy kid, or you was reserved, or how was it as you coming up? How was your attitude?
Yeah, I was more shy. I was a shy young boy. It was like, I was timid. Only, I opened up around people that I felt comfortable around. If I knew them, like if it wasn't no danger, I can open up. I just had to feel a certain type of way to really open up. But if I didn't, I wouldn't even open my mouth. I would just stay away. Stay shy from people. But other than that, I open up, and once I open up, people start learning that, hey, this dude here, he's like, he got a real character to him.
Right.
It was like I was, I like to have fun and I want other people to enjoy me with, with anything I did.
Well, who back then, when you were jumping these cars and doing these things, what was some of your closest partners that you from the mud that you came up with, that you was rolling with and experiencing some of these things with?
You say my closest partners?
Yeah.
Oh, I had, when I was, I think I made it was 16 years old. But way before that, I can go back to when I was like 4 or 5 years old.
You remember that far back?
Yeah, I can remember my childhood in a sense of like friends in elementary.
Yeah.
Meeting some of my friends that's down the street just at the park, because,
Silver Lake Park?
I was raised around, the park was right next door to the house. So
Silver Lake?
Silver Lake Park. So I was able to meet a lot of kids at a young age. So I remember one particular kid was named Pee-wee. And I think that was one of my first best friends, Pee-wee. But his real name, LaJuan Scott. I don't know if I want to put his name out there, but Pee-wee was my dude.
Yeah.
We were similar. We like to have fun together.
Okay. And so basically, it was you, Pee-wee, and guys like that. But even further back than that, how did you come up? Was you were you closer with your siblings, or were you closer with other kids in the neighborhood, or did y'all have a bigger age gap between you and your brothers and sisters?
Yeah, me and my siblings, my mom, she had us at kind of different times, because my older brother, he got me at least about 8 years, and then my sister got me about 6 years, and then my middle brother, he got me about 4 years. So, it was a big difference. But then my younger brother, we just like a year apart. And I think me and him was more closer than the rest because of the age.
Okay.
And we had the same father, so, my older brother had his own dad, and the second to the oldest and third sister, my sister and brother, they had their own dad, and then the last two, me and my brother, we had our own dad. So.
And what was the relationship between your father and yourself?
I don't really remember having a relationship with my dad. You know, I remember at a young age that he used to. I remember him being around us when we was young, but not too much.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not clear to me on him being like a father to me because I think my mom and him kind of separated when I was like 7 or 8 years old. So, you know.
And did that have any effects on you coming up?
Oh yeah, I think that was a big thing that I went through because and I think the reason why I went through that, having problems and issues about my father not being around is because growing up, with your friends and stuff, you see them having their fathers, in their life, their mother and their father, and I always was inspired about, seeing my homies having their dad and their mom. And I thought, to me as a child, I just thought that was everything. That meant a lot to me. And me coming back home to my house and not having my dad there, even when he was with my mom, it still was not like a family. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? In a sense. So, that was a hard thing for me. So that's why I think that was a part of me drifting off, being adventurous, trying to seek like things that was different from how I was raised. In my house. I was attracted to friends that had their mother and father.
And back in that time, would you say that a lot of kids had their mother and fathers in their household back then?
No, it was on a handful. It was on a handful. And it was amazing for me to see that because it wasn't common.
Okay.
And it wasn't too much of that. Seeing somebody with their mom and dad. So that I loved that because I think it was a sense of I can't even name it, but it was a sense of comfort,
right.
to have your mom and dad
right.
in the same house, raising their children, that was something to me. And I don't know why nobody didn't tell me. I just seen it.
You seen it. You can pick up on that vibe like that.
Yeah.
So you would say that your mom really raised you in the most?
Well, my mom and my grandmother. I think my grandmother played a big role in. I think if I didn't have my grandmother, I really believe I wouldn't be here today.
Why you say that?
Because my grandma, she was more like she was a disciplinarian, but at the same time, she was a respectful woman. Everybody respected her in a way that, because how she dealt with things. She was not a judgmental person, but she'll give you her opinion. About how things should be and how things shouldn't be. And just I just respected her in a way because she spoke her mind. She didn't cut no corners. She just spoke how she felt. She didn't care if she hurt your feelings. She just wanted to tell you the right thing, and I appreciated that. My mom was more lenient. She was more free-hearted.
Right.
She let us get away with stuff. And that was cool. But I think that I was more attracted to somebody who wanna have some type of control, like power over their children. My mom, she treated us more like sister and brother type relationship, and I think she did that because she didn't want to be hard on her children,
right?
And I think people get it twisted based on raising your children and like disciplining them and I think they think that might be harsh based on how they was raised or whatever. And it ain't got to be physical. Sometimes, people think it has to be physical on how you discipline your children, but just being on point on what you say. My mom was never like on point on what she say. She always laxed up on some of the things that she might tell us to do, and then we do it, and then she might don't say nothing. But my grandma was consistent on what she said. It wasn't no like being lenient on what she said or turn a blind eye on it. My mom did all the time.
And how many brothers and sisters was in the household with you?
It was 5 of us. us. 4 boys and 1 girl.
And so, how was that relationship coming up, being in the house with 4 other?
I think we was tight. You know, we got into arguments and little fights and stuff, but more of anything, we was close. You know, cause I think, you know, my mom came up into politics. Our whole family was in politics at one time. So I think we was like a close-knit family other than, you know, our disagreements about you ate my sandwich or you wore my shoes or you got on my shirt or something like that. But other than that, we was close.
And would you say that, I know you said you was quiet, more reserved, but at any time coming up as a youngster, did you feel like you started rebelling against either your mom or even your grandma?
I think I started, in a sense, rebelling against my mom more than anything. I think because, you know, my mom, like I said before, she was not a real disciplinarian. She was like free hearted, like, you know, was able you get away with a lot of stuff, you know. And from being that way with her, like a brother and sister relationship, it was, and I think that it comes from, you know, she didn't want to be hard on us.
Right.
And I believe if she would have been, I probably maybe would have been in them streets like I was. But, you know, but I think, you know, growing up in the household with my mom, she allowed certain things to go on, and she probably didn't know nothing about it, you know, on how we was doing things. But you know, I really kind of felt like my mom could have did better, but I didn't understand that she was. I knew she was so loving and free hearted, and she was so giving. So she was always giving and giving and giving, and we came up short a lot based on her doing for other folks. So, but I didn't understand it at the time.
Okay.
I just thought that, okay, Mom, you gotta do for her.
Right.
And we worrying about all that other stuff, you know. So that's what made me end up going out in the streets, you know. Like, I think I felt like we deserved it more than what we was getting. And not understanding that, you know, she trying to let everybody live. It shouldn't be one living better than the other. So.
And when you say going out in the streets, you mean how so did you go into the streets? You just started hanging out. You started partying. You started hustling. What did you start getting into at first?
Well, I think even before I even turned a teenager, you know, when I was 10 and 11 years old, you know, I started being adventurous with my partners, and you know that I came up with elementary school and in the neighborhood. You know, riding my bike. We might ride a bike out of the city to another city. You know, at 10, 11 years old. You know, we might be all the way in Clearwater, or, you know, Gulfport. You know, at 10, 11, we just out there just doing our thing. You know, and Mom ain't really too much, you know, say nothing about it. I don't think she even knew
what was going on.
You know, because she was working the majority of the time. She worked 15-hour shifts and stuff. So a lot of times, you know, we had to fend for ourselves. And then when she did have time off, she actually, like, she did things. Like, she made sure we had fun and be around family and stuff. But at the same time, she was so giving. Like, we always coming up short. Always coming up short.
Okay, and this was in the 70s?
Yeah, 70s. Beginning of the 80s, 80, 81, you know.
And can you walk me through how you came up in the 70s? How was St. Petersburg back then in the 70s compared to how it is now?
Oh, man, I think St. Pete in the 70s, man, it was beautiful. It was, you know, you didn't know the ins and outs about what adults had to do, but for children, you know, it was like a playground because we had so many things to do, you know, back then. And, you know, going to the pool and, you know, we go out there mango hunting, eating off the land, you know, eating fruits and, mangoes, star fruits and plums and peaches and pecans, all kind of stuff that we ate off the land, you know. We just it was almost like Africa, almost.
Yeah.
Like this little town. It was like little country town where, you lived off the land and had fun off the land. A lot of stuff to do. Go down there and play in the creek, Bull Creek, go swimming, go doing whatever you want to do. And at that time, there wasn't no police. We didn't see no police.
Really? It wasn't no police in it?
Not never, unless somebody called them.
Oh, yeah? So what? Pretty much the community just dealt with their own stuff.
Yeah, and because you get in trouble down the street, they going to get on you and then send you back home.
Mm-hmm.
But I wasn't that kind of child that,
Right.
disrespect older people and stuff like that. But I done seen children get a whipping from somebody else, the parent walk them down back to their house and say, hey, this what this your child did, and they get another whipping. But I wasn't disrespectful, to no elders or nothing like that. So I never received a whipping from somebody else's family.
And coming up in the 80s, when did you, or was it the 80s, when did you start seeing a change in the way people acted in St. Pete, or just St. Pete changing in general?
I think when it changed, it was like around 1983. And that was the time that I remember when drugs started coming in this community, But at that time, I didn't understand what was really going on. You start seeing black folks with money, young folk, riding in nice cars. And, like I said, one time I seen this one dude, it was like somebody coming from out of another world. He in a nice luxury car with rims and car jacked up with white wall tires and music louder than a concert, and like he got a concert in his car. And I'm like, what the heck? What is this? Like, I never seen it. I never heard it. I just seen it. And, and it was so attractive that, everybody used to run out their house trying to see, like, what is this? Who is this? What is it? Who is it?
And did you know who these guys was when you seen them?
No, not at the time. I didn't even know. I just knew that there's somebody around here got some money and they having fun, with all this loud music, car nice, fixed all up with rims, white wall tires and stuff like that. We used to be chasing behind the car trying to see who it was. We was attracted to it because we never seen that in this city. This city was like just a plain Jane.
So when you say drugs, because I hear about like in the 70s, heroin and stuff like this, what type of drugs are you talking about?
This was the crack area, crack cocaine era. Even I didn't know what no crack was, until I got older. But at that age, 1983, I heard some things, but I never knew. But I knew something was going on to see young folk, this young dude driving this nice car. Like, where you getting this money from? You don't see nobody, mom or dad driving this. You see young people driving.
Even working people,
working people ain't have no money like that.
They didn't have no money.
And if they did, they didn't show it. Or they went into that type of stuff.
But at this time, did you know it was crack, or did you?
No, I ain't know. I had no idea. I wanted to know.
Yeah.
Because it looked nice to me, so I'm like, who is this? And what is this?
Yeah.
Like, how you got this music to be so loud in your car? How you got your car like this, pretty like this? Who did it?
Yeah.
Like, where you get this from? So we used to be chasing behind the car, trying to see who was it.
And what was these guys' response when they saw y'all?
Oh, they loved it. You could see them riding down the street smiling. They knew you was attracted. They hadn't done something good. Because that's the first thing somebody gonna think. If you got on some nice shoes and somebody make a comment on it, you be like, you smiling too. You feel good about yourself and what you accomplished. So I think that's how they felt.
And these was trendsetters. So at this time, like, this was new to y'all, but it's like somebody had to show them to even, like, how did they know that this would be something attractive? They got the new cars, they got this and that. How did they know that when I come out with these cars and I put these white walls and stuff like this, I'm trying to think in the mind frame, how did they know, like, I'm gonna get all this attention like this?
I think I had heard that at that time, a little later, a couple years later, that them guys went down to Miami. Miami was one of the first places where they was doing that. And they must have went down to Miami and seen the attention that people was getting, because they was already doing it. But this city was small, and we went into that type of stuff, So I think, they got a taste of it down in Miami, and they knew St. Pete was way behind than Miami, and they knew if they came to this city and showed their little stuff off, their little tours off, that they was gonna get a whole bunch of attention, and they did.
And so when this attention was going on, did the police what was the response to this? Did anybody know what was actually going on, or what was going on?
The police didn't know. It wasn't even that many police in this city at that time. At that time, nobody didn't really know. Nobody didn't really know what it was. Like, how they got this.
Yeah.
Who was their family? Like, who gave this to them?
Right.
Where did they get it from? Because
Yeah.
we never seen nothing like this. St. Pete ain't know too much. And a lot of people from St. Pete wasn't from Miami. They never came from Miami and settled here. They came from Georgia. North part of, the country. So Miami was different. Nobody didn't really move from Miami and come here like how they came from Georgia. So it was different.
And so how long did it take you to figure out what was going on? Because at that point, could you just get in the game, or did somebody have to put you on in the game and let you know what was going on? How was it back then?
Yeah, I think the only people that maybe got into it at that time was the people who knew the family. I don't think if you didn't know that family, you wasn't going to be a part of it.
So they was the only family doing this?
Yeah, it seemed to went that way down that time, because you start hearing their name. You start hearing about the family name, and the things that they was doing, like doing big events at the park, giving away free food, playing music, and giving out toys to the kids on Christmas. You start hearing things, all this money they got and the things that they was doing with the money, But nobody didn't know, when they first came, where the money came from. You start hearing about it later. The police didn't even know what crack was.
They didn't know what crack was at this time?
They didn't know.
They didn't know what
crack was. You
was?
be able to get caught with crack cocaine, and police don't even know to let you go because they never seen it.
So what type of crimes was the police looking at back then at this time then?
I think mostly it was domestic violence. If you, abuse, your husband, man beating on his wife or something like that, the insurance man getting robbed,
stuff like
somebody from out the community or whatever. Other than that, the police didn't come.
Was it a certain time where it might have been a killing or a shooting to where it made more people aware of what was going on?
Right then, 1983, it wasn't no killing. No, the community was peaceful. It wasn't no killing. It was, people fight every now and again.
Yeah.
Killing ain't come until the late 80s, when the drugs started getting heavy. Because, before the drug game came, you didn't hear about people dying unless they was old.
For real?
If somebody drowned or something like that, or got hit by a car. It wasn't too much of that. And you rarely got hit by a car because there wasn't that many, the streets was it wasn't even paved yet. You had dirt roads, I remember when 16th Street, between 16th Street and Central and 18th Avenue, dirt.
On 16th Street and all that?
Yeah, it wasn't even no roads. So, we didn't even have concrete parking lots.
So would you say, okay, that's a good point. Would you say that crack or the drug trade brought more money into the city?
I don't think Well, yeah, you can say that in a sense. I think it brought more money to black folk. It had to bring it to the white folk, whoever was in the business of making money, because you got to spend your money somewhere,
right?
So I think when the drugs came, it affected the city of St. Petersburg economy. The city.
It helped it,
not the stores, like the private ownership of stores. I don't think it affected that, but I believe it affected the city, the city government of St. Petersburg, Florida. And some of the companies that black folks worked for at the time, maybe like the health field, or the sanitation part of the city, where sanitation, a lot of black folks work for the sanitation, and a lot of black folks, women work for the health field, nursing, or health aid, or some type of person doing some type of work like that. Because when that drug came in, if your man was a hustler, most likely your woman wasn't gonna be working. So it kind of hurt some of the economy, because drug gang had took over the economy, and people weren't working for certain companies no more.
Let me ask you this question, because it's a cliche question. Everybody, want to be on it. I mean, do you feel like when crack came into St. Pete, do you feel like it hurt the city, or do you feel like it helped the city?
I believe I think it both ways. It's a catch-22 on that, because it affected so many people's lives that got addicted to the drug. A lot of people lost their lives, and a lot of people made bad decisions, when they started using the drug. So it had its effects. It had, good effects, and it had bad effects. You've seen both sides of it, where, you start seeing certain families eating more, and then you start seeing certain people, out on the streets, homeless, getting diseases, dying from AIDS and HIV, because they were making bad decisions, based on that drug.
On the drug. And so, this was 83. Did you ever at any time say, I think I want to be a part of this drug. I want to get me some money out of this?
Yeah, as soon as I seen that in 1983, I kind of felt a certain type of way. I want to know, how you got this? What did you have to do to get what you got?
Yeah.
And I'm willing to do it, but not knowing the side effects, not understanding that, some people gonna, get hurt, or, lose their life, or get sick off the drug. I didn't know that at the time. All I knew was the good side, the upside of it, So I was attracted to the upside, not the downside.
And did the majority of the people did they want to participate in the drug game, or did they want to stay away from it? Or do you feel like you was one of those people that said, I want to get some of this money, I don't by any means necessary?
I really think the ones who was less fortunate, that really wanted to be a part of it. You might have a few that want to just be a part of something. But more likely, it was more of my homeboys that didn't really have nothing. Maybe they mom wasn't able to support them in a certain way that they wanted. They felt that was appropriate. Like my mom, my mom was a giving person. She always tried to help and a lending hand to everybody, especially her family and people that outside the family. She was so giving that we always came up short. So I think that's what I had a hard time with. My mom giving so much, it hindered us, and our family, a lot,
So you made up in your mind. So did you approach these guys, or how did you how did you officially get into the game?
I learned it in school, in high school. I think I was maybe in the 10th grade, and I started seeing one of my homeboys who I met in high school started having rental cars.
Before you was in the game?
Before I was in the game. I'm like, y'all got rental cars? Like,
yeah.
How y'all ain't of age. Like, how you got this car? Like, who rented it for you? Who did it for you? How you got this?
You started asking these questions?
Yeah, I'm asking questions like, well, who got you this?
Yeah.
So they explained to me, like, man, we got crack. I'm like, crack? What is crack? So he came out of the pocket and had it in his hand. He had about 2-3 rocks in his hand. I'm like, man, what is that?
Yeah.
He said, it's crack, boy. He said, this how you make money. He said, you know how much money I got? He said, I got about $150. I said, nigga, stop lying. You ain't number 14, 15. Where you get your mama? Where you got that? How you got? You saying somebody giving you money for them? Like, yo, that's how we got this rental car. And I said, well, how you got the rental car? You ain't old enough. The person who owned the drugs did. They got them the rental car. So I was like, okay, I want a part of this. Who I go to?
Yeah.
So I don't think at that time when they was introducing me to how it went, I didn't think they wanted me a part of it.
Why that? Why did you say that?
Because they didn't point me to who they got it from.
Oh.
I had to find somebody in my family to go to.
Yeah.
At the time, and I ended up having a job. But I was already tired of working. I can do math. Like, I know $3.15 an hour ain't nothing. So I'm like, I got to figure out something else. So on maybe my third, fourth check, I had made $100, from my job, and I got $100 and asked one of my family members, like, hey, cuz, man, I heard you got it.
Yeah.
Hook me up, So I went and bought, the product with the $100.
How much at $100? What you getting back then for $100?
At $100, you get. I think I got my head slapped.
Yeah.
When they say you get your head slapped, that means somebody that got over on you. I didn't know nothing about it. So I didn't know, what it was worth. I didn't know the amount that you're supposed to get for $100. So the first time that I purchased, some drugs, I didn't get the right amount.
Right.
I went to my partner who showed me, my first time seeing crack. I showed him what I had in purchase. He was like, no, this dude, your cousin got you. He slapped your head. He didn't do you right. So that was my first experience on getting them drugs. And I didn't get the right amount for what the money I had.
Okay, but at this time, so was it mostly guys selling weight to each other? Was it crackheads running around here that you can sell to crackheads, or was guys mostly dealing to each other guys, like weight?
Oh, it was people that was on crack, that was using the drug, and that's how you made your money. But at first, the people who you were selling crack to, they had jobs. They was teachers. They was, people who had nice jobs. Because you got to have some money to smoke crack, because, that high don't last long.
Right.
And so you right back at it 10 minutes later after you done smoked whatever 3 or 4 rounds. You right back trying to get you some more. So, it was more like people who had jobs. It wasn't no people who was poor.
Right.
That, and if there was somebody poor, they wouldn't have stole just to get the rock, the crack.
So back then, selling drugs, would you say that it was a lot of money, more money involved than it is today? From just observation, what you think?
You can say that, because back then, I think the economy was different. Like, what you can get for your money back then, and opposed to getting the money that you have at this time, ain't gonna get you too much. But back then, you can get a whole bunch of stuff with a little bit of money. I remember them times that you can get a whole bunch of stuff with a little bit of. I don't know the number game or how the economy was, but it just seemed like your dollar was worth more back then. You got a whole bunch of stuff with a little bit of money.
And these first guys you saw with the cars, would you say that they was millionaires?
They weren't millionaires; they were thousandaires. I know
they was making some money.
They made way more money than regular folk. I know this because seeing a person at work, you were barely making it. Like you talking about an economy where people only making $3.15 minimum wage, and maybe somebody who got a decent job that might be making 10 hour, whatever like that, and you gotta have an education just to get that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, back then, it was different. Like a lot of folk made up their mind. I'd rather have the drug game than trying to get an education to make these little $10, and then if you have to work overtime, you can maybe get $15 or whatever.
So when the crack came and the money came, I would assume that it was some guys that wanted to rob people too. But did that ever start? Did Jack Boys and all that?
That started later. That started later. And I believe that the robbing and stuff came from when people who was on the drug couldn't get the drug.
So the first people robbing was the people using drugs.
That's what I believe.
Yeah.
And then people started catching on because the person who was on the drug, who couldn't get the drug because they done ran out of money, they do anything to get it.
Yeah.
And so they might go and rob somebody for a TV or whatever, or money or whatever, jewelry or whatever, and go and sell it to the guys who might not be selling drugs, or sell it to somebody who do sell drugs. You know what I'm saying? Because they know that person got the money to purchase it. They just want the money to go and buy some more drugs. So they'll find the person who they selling the item that they stole, and tell them how they got it. Or I just robbed this person. Or they might have a conversation with them about it. And they're like, you want to rob? You want to took this out? Like,
And then that's
when you start figuring out, okay, you want to get some money. Either you going to rob or you going to hustle.
And so when you were hustling, have you ever came in contact with somebody wanting to take something from you at this point?
Oh, yeah, a couple times. A couple times I done got robbed. But I think the people who robbed me, I caught up with them. So I think after that, I hadn't got a name for myself that if you rob me, it's gonna be some consequences if you do that. So yeah.
And now we got trap houses. What was it more like? How would was people hanging on the corners? Was it wasn't no cell phones or nothing like that.
Yeah, it started off. You might hang in front of a corner store. And people who want to purchase a drug, it can be a teacher, anything. They just drive up, stay in their car, and you make the deal through the car window. You just chilling at the store. You chilling like you used to chill, because we always chilled at the store, because the local stores always had a game room or something. So, we hung around the store. But then when the drug game came, that's when we started getting the drugs and still hanging at the store. So it was like camouflage, because the police ain't really know what was going on until the people who start stealing to get the drug. And they start telling about who's selling drugs.
Oh, that's what I was going to ask next. When did the police get hip to what was going on?
That's what I think. That's when they started getting hip, when people started stealing and getting caught and telling on the guys that were selling the drugs.
And what was the police reaction to this? When they finally got onto what was going on, was it slow? Were they just watching y'all, or did they start?
It was a watch game. They trying to figure it out, because they didn't know nothing about the drug. They never seen the drug before. They don't know nothing about what they looking for. They don't know. They didn't even catch on to what was going on probably to the late 80s. Like, because it really wasn't that many police out here. until the dope game came. You know, you was selling dope like in the wild open, like you know it wasn't you would carry a gun in the wild open, like somebody had to call the police on you for the police to come. And then once the drug game started getting heavy, that's when you start seeing the police presence without even nobody calling. You know, if they didn't call, if nobody didn't call the police, you didn't see the police.
Well, how did that change how you was moving when police were just around without people calling? Now you in the drug game. How did that change the way that you and your partners was moving? Because obviously you probably couldn't sell in the open like you used to, or did people still try to sell in the open and get jammed up?
Yeah, people they still were still selling drugs in the open because you start getting word started going around saying, man, just don't have the drug on you. They can't do nothing. As long as you have your drugs here and they ain't in your possession, they can't do nothing. And even if they find it wasn't on you. So, people start figuring out the law and start, doing things to prevent from going to jail. We just hanging out. Just don't keep drugs on you. So you was able to maintain that. But then after a while, they didn't even care if the drugs on you. They just say this is your drugs. It was right here around you. So that's when people started getting trap houses.
What's trap houses back when? When was this?
We started back in 1987. By 1987, that's when the first trap house I ever was in was, a couple of my homies and family members,
Yeah.
Back in 1987. Because people started, when the police started riding, you was visible. So now you want to be inside so they can't see you. So you had the traffic coming to your house.
And how did that work? How did that work?
Rental property or something like that you get somebody that's on drugs to rent the house out for you. Because back then, people was still maintaining that was on crack a little. They was able to go to work, do everything they used to do until they get too heavy on it. But majority of the time, that's who actually rented you. Because we was too young. We was teenagers. We couldn't rent no house. We couldn't rent a car. We couldn't do none of that. So the people that was on the drugs, we can say, well, I'll give you this and this and that, this amount of drugs if you do this for me, do this favor for me. We'll trade the drug for this instead of giving you money. Because it was cheaper to get a drug than give money.
Right.
Because if you buy the drug at wholesale price, then you get the whatever you need wholesale.
Right.
So it's like you getting the rental car for wholesale, you getting the apartment that you getting for wholesale. Because it might be somebody who own the apartment that own drugs, and you might get it wholesale.
And so when did the
somebody up there, but knock on the door.
Okay, all right.
When did the notorious Green Team come to St. Petersburg? And was that a result of the crack era? The Green Team?
The Green Team was a narcotics unit that all their job was to find people that were selling drugs. That was their main job. But that not only that, but to show aggression, force. They was like a force that was supposed to be intimidating to make you say, I ain't finna sell drugs if I have to go through all this here.
When you say intimidate, describe the Green Team to somebody who might have never seen the Green Team.
The Green Team, they look like police thugs. Some of them had muscles, like big muscles, like they was on steroids. So even to see them, they was intimidating. And they looked like street people. They didn't look like regular police. They looked like a thug, and they came with force because that's like the first time you seen the police really with vest on, like bulletproof vest, was like the Green Team, Regular police weren't wearing that because they duties was not the same. These people who the Green Team come because they know they finna deal with somebody who might be got a gun, might be aggressive, with the police because they hustlers, they gangsters,
Why they call them the Green Team?
Because they wore green. it was always, they wore green. And they had particular names. One had a name named Rambo. So they had these names that kind of supposed to scare you, so, and they had muscles, and they was
big.
Yeah, someone was big.
They
said they was aggressive.
Was it an incident that made the green team possible, or was it a bunch of events? Was it a case? Was it this or that? Do you remember anything like that? Or you just remember them kind of just showing up?
I just remember showing up because people started saying, "Man, there's some police out here, man. They acting crazy. They acting crazy." Like, what? And my first time seeing them, I'm like, y'all don't scare me. Y'all, because I think the way I was raised, that have no fear, so I was crazy in a sense. That they didn't scare me. They was not intimidated to me. They didn't intimidate me.
So your first interaction with the green team, what was that like?
I just stayed away. Like I was so discreet about hustling.
Yeah.
Like people ain't really know. Like some people knew, but I wasn't I was smart. I was kind of smart in a sense, about hustling. I didn't care trying to be the big man.
Right.
As long as I made me a little something was enough. I didn't try to go deep in the game, trying to be more in the mansion and want all these big, nice cars. Cause I know sooner or later you going down.
Did you get the cars? You got the cars, the jewelry,
I got my share. I had, I got my share. I hustled, went to jail, paid my debts or whatever, I made a little bit of money, but I was smart enough to get out of the game because I didn't last that long. But I had nice cars, jewelry. I'm all in high school with jewelry, drive my own car with nice rims and tires and music and stuff in high school. Money in all my pockets. I kept a whole bunch of money and took care of a lot of people. I think that's where a lot of my money went. Where I took care of a lot of people, and with my brothers, sisters, my mama, breaking them off, a little bit here and there, 100 here, 50 here, 20 here.
Yeah.
If you're doing that often, and I get that from my mom.
Yeah. And that's what I was gonna ask. What was your mom? Because at this point, I assume that your mom and your grandma recognized that you was hustling. What was their response to you being in the drug game?
I remember. I remember the first response, and it was like, to me, it made me feel a certain type of way because the way they explained it, like, because they was into politics. A lot of my family was in politics, so the way they explained it was like, man, you know what you're doing, right? So I'm like, what you mean what I'm doing? So she was like, you know what you're doing? I'm like, what you mean what I'm doing? I'm making me some money. She was like, well, at the same time you making money, you hurting your people at the same time. I didn't think about that. I didn't realize that it was people being hurt from me doing what I was doing. All I cared about getting what I need to get to live. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know the effects of how I was gonna have on other people. So it kind of made me go into like a guilt trip, But at that time, I still felt like, Mom, you just talking, I'm gonna get this money, And I think the first time that I really felt guilty, real guilty, that it made me feel enough guilt to quit is when I seen my brother that was on drugs, that how it affected him. And,
So he ended up was he hustling at the time, or he just ended up getting caught up in the drugs?
Yeah, he was hustling, but I didn't know it.
Oh, you didn't know?
I didn't know he was. He kept it away because my older brother, he was more like in the streets before his time. He was in the streets at 10 years old. He was a juvenile delinquent at a young age. So he was out there in the streets hustling way before drugs even came. But I think when the drug game came, he was hustling, but.
And so your brother, at this point, you didn't know that your brother was in the streets, but he was doing his own thing. It was an age gap at this point.
Well, I remember when I was 11 years old, my brother had to be by. When I was 11, he had to be 17 years old. And he was, he had his own place, had a girlfriend and all that. But I remember going to one of his apartments at 17 years old. He was 17, I was 11. And I remember seeing him at the time making like he was making drugs. Like he had
So this was around the same time you were seeing these guys rolling. He was already in. You didn't. He was in the game.
This even was before I seen the guys, rolling. This was the time before I even seen the guys roll, because nobody from St. Pete knew about the guys from Miami.
Oh,
this was early. This was probably 1980, 81.
But this was crack that your brother was dealing with?
But this was freebasing. This was cocaine by itself without adding any other substance to it. It was just cocaine. They called it freebasing. So they was, put the little, use the spoon and get the coke and just add maybe some baking soda and stir it up in a spoon and heat it underneath and make whatever they need to make, and then use that to smoke. It was pure cocaine.
What type of money were these guys making that was selling the freebase then, as opposed to the guys who were selling the crack at later time?
But that the freebasing game, I don't know. I didn't really see too much of that, so I don't know how much money people was making on that. Because I think during the freebasing time, it was older folk.
Okay.
Was doing that along with the heroin.
Okay.
But it was more older people dealing with that freebase.
But you didn't notice the same amount of money or the same amount of flashiness or attention that you noticed with these guys in 83?
No, the crack cocaine era, it was overwhelming money. That game was just overwhelming with money. Money was like just, I remember, at a time where when you get tired of making money, you making money. Like, you tired. You get tired. Like, I'm tired making money. That you gotta turn people down. You like, no, man, the store closed. It's
over. Yeah,
selling no more. We tired. Like, you ain't getting no sleep.
Right.
No rest. So it was money. But I don't think that freebasing, unless it was on another level with the rich people.
Right, okay.
And the smaller people, because it was cocaine.
Right, pure cocaine.
It was pure cocaine. So cocaine was a rich drug.
Right.
But the crack area, you break that cocaine down and add all this other stuff to it, make it more, the volume of it. So that's how they was able to make the money. But the freebasing was more coke. So it wasn't people having a whole bunch of that. And I remember, being young and seeing, my brother, mixing up something that was freebasing. Yeah. I don't think he was on drugs at the time. I think he was trying to make money. He might have was, but I don't know.
Right.
But that was my first time seeing that. This before the crack era. This is before I was 11 years old. I seen stuff like that. So
do you feel like did you see that some of the guys from the freebase era, did they transition into the crack era, or did you see a lot of guys get hooked on the crack that was from the freebase era?
That's what happened. The people who was freebasing got hooked on the crack era because I think they had heard about it. The word started spreading about the crack. It started spreading around 83. Few people probably knew about it in 81, 82, but 83 was the time when people, they spread. People know about it. People kind of know about it that was out there, Now, people that was lame that went into the game or into drugs, they didn't know. Police ain't even know. But the people who was into it, they knew. 83, that's when it hit. It was hit hard. So that, I think at that time when I turned had to be about 14.
Mm.
I think that's when my brother started using.
Mm.
You know, and
how did it affect you when you saw it and found out?
When it didn't, because he didn't. He at that time, I think he was able to maintain, but once he got of age, got to like in his early 20s,
yeah, that's
when it affected me because I had to be about 17.
And you can tell.
He had to be about 23,
and
he was gone. He was, you know, I was making a whole bunch of money, and at the time I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I remember one particular incident, you know, when I had this whole apartment complex on lock. When I say on lock, that we had full control. You know, the management, you know, the dude who I knew, he the one introduced me to the person who was managing the apartment complex, and he told me he wanted me because he had people already in the apartment complex who was trying to hustle, but they weren't paying the bills and they weren't doing this and doing that, and they were saying, "Well, I know you a hustler,
right? And
I know you gonna do right. So I'm gonna introduce you to the management, and he gonna put you in there, whoever you want to bring in there." So we took over the whole apartment complex. You know, we took it over from the guy. They kicked all the guys out who was, you know, probably in there just using the drug and weren't paying their bills. So we ended up getting it, and that's when the money started flowing. And that's when I seen my brother, you know, start changing, and you can see it. You know, his body, his face, his whole structure just started changing. And like I said, I remember this one particular incident where, you know, because it had started being on my mind because I started, my mom and my other part of my family started saying, "Listen, man, you killing your folk. You killing your folk. You killing your folk." And then I said, "I know I'm killing my brother." Yeah. And then my brother said, one time he came to purchase some drugs from me. He was like, "Hey, bro, I need to get something from you." But he was looking terrible. Yeah. And I told him, I said, "Bro, I'm not selling you no more drugs." I said, "I'm not finna kill you." And his response was, "Kill me, bro. Kill me, bro. I want you, if anybody else, I don't want nobody else to kill me. I want you to kill me." I said, "Well, I'm done." That's when I decided, I said, I'm not finna hustle no more, bro. Because if I gotta kill you, I'm not, and you're gonna kill you for me getting you drugs or selling you drugs, and me feeling guilty not to give you drugs because you want it so bad that you think that it's helping you, I'm finna get out the game. And you got out the game after that? I was done. And so you left the fast money alone. I left it alone, and then got more involved in politics. But I was born in politics, but at the age of 14, that's when I joined my first organization. But at 18, had to be 18, 19, when I made up my mind, I said, I'm done. And so when you went fully into politics, what did that entail? How did you start? How did you do that? I think a family member came to me and said, "Hey man, you'll be a good a good person that we can use because you know you got a lot of influence out here in the streets to change some stuff, you know, in the community." And you know, at the time, I was frustrated with hustling, going to jail and stuff like that. So I made a decision, say I'm gonna go full time with politics, try to do something to change, you know, this drug addiction and, you know, all the chaos that was going on at the time in the crack era. Because I heard that, and not only that, I heard that, you know, in 1989 that they had said they had got a program that to start getting people off the street, and it was called Crackdown 89. And they was doing that around the whole nation. That they saying we finna get rid of all these people who selling drugs, selling crack. How they was doing? Like, what was some of the methods they was doing to get rid of people? Oh, they doing raids. Raids was going on all around the city. And I think I had just got out of it right before the raids started coming. You know.
They hit some of your partners and people you knew or what?
Yeah, after I got out of the game, you know, a lot of people went to prison, did some time. But at that time, you know, if you weren't no big time drug dealer, you know, they patted you on the hand, like you might do, you might have, do a third of your sentence.
Okay.
During that time.
It wasn't no federal back then.
No. So you might just do state a third of your sentence. You might catch a year. You do 2.5 months.
What? Off a year?
Yeah. So it wasn't no harsh sentence. The harsh sentence came later. You know, people was getting out. So the day that they got out, they right back in the drug game.
So did that create a lot of habitual offenders? Being that they was getting out so fast?
Yeah, back then, but still, you could go to prison bank to bank three times in a row, and you still come. You know, they wouldn't consider you as a habitual at the time. You know.
So when did that kick in?
I think it was based on the amount of
Okay.
drugs that you got caught with, based on the time that you was getting. But if you wasn't big time, you know.
Did you see any of those guys, the first big guys, did they ever get busted or anything like that? Did they ever take a fall?
Yeah, I remember the guys who first brought the drugs to this city.
Yeah.
I remember in 1983 the names started ringing on who they were on bringing, you know, the game here. And I remember, you know, being in politics that was going to do a roundup, you know, to get all the big towns off the street.
These guys still alive today?
Oh yeah, they are. Some of them still in there. You know, from 1989, from 1990. You know, still in prison doing fair time.
From the 80s, for selling drugs.
It was young, 20 years old, 19 years old, 21 years old, and still some of them caught life sentences, double life sentences.
And so at this point, you're making the transition into the politics. When you transition into the politics, what did that look like? Were you approaching the guys that you was hustling with and telling them this ain't right, or what was your approach to the guys?
My approach to that street hustler was basically, I'm not coming to tell you not to get money. I'm saying, why you getting money, don't hurt nobody. You know, if you get money, it ain't no need to hurt nobody, to shoot nobody.
Okay.
You know, we can all live and you know, be safe, because a lot of people, you know, was getting killed at the time. You know, so my approach was basically like, hey man, we ain't gotta kill, we ain't gotta hurt nobody. You know what I'm saying? That was my main approach, not to tell them stop selling drugs or whatever. But I knew, because I knew I was in the game.
Right.
So I knew if somebody came and told me, hey man, you gotta stop selling drugs, and this is how I get my money.
Right.
I'm not listening, but I can say, hey man, you ain't gotta hurt nobody, you ain't gotta kill nobody, you ain't gotta shoot nobody.
And this was the approach of the movement that you was in too. That's what they approached too. That's the message that they were spreading. Or was this something that you, being that you was in the game, you came up with your own approach on how to talk to folks?
No, I think my approach was a little different. I think, you know, their approach was kind of, well, they wanted everything to stop. They wanted the drugs to stop. They wanted the violence to stop. You know, but I knew that being realistic, like, hey, you know, people trying to survive. They're gonna try to figure out. You know, we ain't talking about like educated people. When I say educated, in the sense of quote unquote the system, of way how they, in order for you to survive a part of the system, you have to get an education. But these folk come from street education. This the game. You know, it's a different way of learning. You know, is, you know, like I say, education. You know, to me, is a open word, because it can go either way. Like you say educated, what? for what? To be a part of your system, educated in my own way to be able to live and get this money.
Okay.
Because I can be educated in the streets to get this money and have way more wealth than the person who's supposed to be educated by the system. So which way do I go? And now you have to pick which route you want to go. Do you want to go with this part of the system, or you want to go part of this system? You know, which way you want to go. Right. So you have to convince people, you know, which way you want to go. You know, you want to go down this way because this way is kind of hard. Now you can get your money, but what you got to go through to get it. Now you want to go this way, you know, it's up to you.
I remember being at the park at Campbell Park. Me and my cousin, we was just started hustling, and we was in the base of rental car, and you approached us and said, "Hey man, I see what y'all doing." And you was the first person that ever approached us like that. Hey, I see what y'all doing. What y'all doing, bruh? Listen, I've been getting money. I've been doing this, and for you to do that, I had never seen nobody approach me like that. But not only was you approaching us like that, I seen you approaching other guys like that. And like you said, anybody can't do that. Anybody ain't gonna respect that. So that's why I always wondered, how did you come up with your approach? And do you feel like your approach might have saved people's lives or might have even deterred some people or got them out the game?
Oh yeah. Like I said, I believe it did save a lot of people. Like, cause the thing that I was big on, that I was real. I had passion. I had a whole bunch of passion. I had a lot of affection for people. Period. You know, without politics. You know, without being involved with any organization. That was just my demeanor of wanting to look at, wanting to make sure you're safe more than anything, okay? Because I know what harm it's going to bring to you. I know that sooner or later, either you're going to get killed and or you finna go to prison. You know, at the time, I'm not even thinking about the money. Right. Okay, that's not my thoughts going through my head on, okay, dang, he trying to get on. My thoughts is your safety. Right. More than anything. That's all I'm thinking about. I'm like, is my family, my nephew or my cousin gonna be able to survive this? Is he gonna be able to survive this? Is somebody gonna try to rob him or kill him? Or if he out here, you know, hustling, he might have to kill somebody because somebody, you know, trying to rob you. That's my only concern. Other than that, I didn't have no worries. It was just about safety more than anything, you know. And that was the thing that I tried to make people, convince people of, like, not trying to say, listen, bro, you know, don't do this, don't do that. Selling drugs is bad. You know, doing this and that. No, it's just about safety. Right. You know, whatever you're doing, be safe. You know, but if I can see where you might have some harm coming towards you, I gotta say something, because that's how much love I got. You know, it's just so much love that I have for people, especially for my family, and that's all I'm thinking about. I don't want no harm to come to you. Right. And if I assume that, you know, I'm so passionate about that I go all the way out just to say it, and whether you understand it at that time or later, you know. So that was what I was on, safety. I don't want no harm brought to you.
And so do you think that the politics help you put stuff in perspective, or just you being out in the game helped you? Or did the politics and your being out in the game bring everything together for you? How did that?
I think both. I think both. You know, I think both, because I understand the whole thing about when the politics introduced me, it kind of opened my eyes of, you know, where the drug game and being out in the streets wasn't something that, like, we created. Like black folk just somehow said, oh, this is what we finna do. Yeah. That this thing was introduced to us, so that's what made me open my eyes, like, oh, snap. Right. Like, because I never understood where it came from. Right. Even seeing the first person who run these, you know, the dope game here, even living the way they're living, you know, like, I didn't know the whole, how the system, you know, was involved with this thing. Right. So that's when I started saying, oh, no, now I know. Now I gotta do something about it because I don't want you to get trapped in the system.
Right.
Before, I didn't understand the system. You know, I didn't understand the politics of it. You know, you just doing what you're doing to survive. But once that opened my eyes about the system played a role into it, so that's when it made me so adamant about, oh, dang, I can't let them get tied up in the system because this was going to happen. You know, this was going to definitely happen. It's already, it's like a premonition, like you can see it before it happens. Like you can even predict it. Like this is going to happen. Yeah. This is going to happen. I know this is going to happen because it's already planned. You know, that's when you start understanding it's a plan. Right. It's a plan to create stuff that's gonna put you down, but you ain't gonna survive. It's a plan.
Because coming from Oakland, California, I heard about the Panthers. I heard them doing certain things against the police, but you was the first person I witnessed that was actually challenging the police the way that you was challenging them, like you say, with no fear. I seen you run the police off and do this type of stuff. When were you doing that when you was hustling, or was this after you got out the game that you was running them off like this here?
I was doing it when I was in the game, when I was hustling, when I was selling drugs. Because I even try to convince the police that, bro, you a part of the same system that I'm part of it. Because I started figuring it out. It was all a plan. It was a part of the system. They was a part of the system too. They just didn't know it at the time. They think they doing good. Just like the same thing. The police think he's trying to change things in the world, and I'm trying to change my life in the world by doing this. So you got your way of feeling like this how you gonna change for the world or whoever, for the city that you live in, or for people, humane or whatever. I'm thinking like, no, I'm just trying to hustle to feed my family. That's my main concern. I'm trying to feed my family, my brother, my mom, my sister, my uncle, my cousin. That's what I'm in it for. Now, what you in it for? You know what I'm saying? But then when I start seeing we all a part of the system, I say, dang, I don't want to be a part of it no more. I'm tired. Now I figured it out. It's for failure. It's all designed for failure. So I said, I'm going to step out and say, nah, I'm going to be a part of it. But when I was in the game, and I was hustling, I knew it, but I say I still want to get this money, but I'm still trying to teach people, say, listen, this is what we tied to, you know? So either you want to be in and understanding these repercussions or you don't.
Because I done been right here in this park, Silver Lake, and I done heard y'all calling out people like Bubba and Pete Dog, and I never knew police by it, you know. But I heard you calling them out, and I didn't see y'all run police out this park. What was the relationship between these certain police officers in the community, and how do you feel like? Because I feel like it was a mutual respect, even though they was doing certain stuff. I felt like when you told them to get out, or certain police, they left at certain times, even though y'all might have went back and forth with it. Why was these certain police always in the community, and it seemed like y'all was having a back and forth because I heard these names a lot of times. I heard Bubba, I heard Pete Dog. Why would you feel like it was just a constant battle between this community, or was it all around St. Pete? I don't know.
It was all around St. Pete, but I think that I believe the police and the people that's involved with politics, we was all caught up into this system. I believe that because, you know, they figure that they trying to make change. We figure we trying to make change. So it's like a head-on collision that you trying to convince them, hey man, what you doing? Yeah. You just like me. Right. You a part of the same thing. You trying to condemn me and try to put me in jail or whatever, and you ain't no different from me. You just don't know it. But you ain't no different. You're a part of the same system. You know what I'm saying? That you caught up because you think it's real, but it ain't real. You being used too. You know
when you say they being used, what you mean they being used? How you think? What you mean by that?
I mean, well, like in a sense, well, they being used in a sense, well, they still have to struggle. Like, okay, most people get jobs for what? Security. To take care of their family and do, things that they want to do in life, to have a great life.
Right.
But then you being a part of something that putting a strain not only on you, but it's putting a strain on your family because now your well-being is at risk, just like mine.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm trying to do something to better my family, my well-being. You trying to better yourself and your family with your well-being, but guess what? Look at the dangers that you have to put yourself in front of doing so.
Mm.
Just like me.
Yeah.
So now, what are you doing it for?
Mm.
If that's there, if there, how can you keep living when you assume that you doing something for the good?
Yeah.
But it ain't gonna last because look what you in front of.
Mm.
It's like it's the same thing as me. What I'm doing, So some of them start figuring it out. Like, dang, at the end of this, what did I accomplish?
Mm.
Like, what did I accomplish? Because without me being here, it's still going on.
Right.
When you retire, when he retire, or whoever she retire, it's still going on. But they get caught up just like we get caught up. Because you still trying to do good for some that ain't no good gonna come out of it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You might save a couple people. You might stop this and stop that, but the overall picture, when you dead and gone, it's still gonna be going on because you ain't got no control over it. Somebody else a part of this that manifested, that make this system stay the same no matter what you do. So, but I can get deeper into that.
So what's your views? So you should still follow the same views that you did at that point when you first got into politics, or did your views start to evolve or change in any type of way?
I think I always had my views, but I think that being into politics, my views was challenged a lot.
In what type of way? What you mean?
In ways where I think that the approach of how you deal with situations, because I believe that my approach with even with the police, being Pacific is being aggressive with them, talking in a way that they might think that I'm not being rational or I'm being aggressive,
right?
Because I'm not paying attention to. Okay, they thought so. What you here for?
Okay,
what you doing? Because they got their opinions on how they see things. So I'm not considering that. But but I always consider how they see things. But when you're in politics, if you part of something, they want you to think their way. You got to think exactly how they and do it. How they say do it. So that always was a challenge to me. I didn't want to do it their way. The way the politics say. I always wanted to do it my way. My approach was different. I believe that if I say something, have a conversation with the police in my way, I believe I can have some understanding. But the aggressive way that I, took was, I think, it could have been better. It could have been, the situation could have been different where I didn't put myself in harm's way. And that's all. It's always about safety,
right?
By being safe and not, putting yourself in a situation where something can happen to you. And I always put myself in a situation where things can happen to me based on what I was told. And this is how you're supposed to do it. And not going with my own opinions on how I thought it should be. So I always battle with that. I always say, no, I don't know if this is right. But I didn't have no fear. And then it ended up being a habit. You do things over and over and over and over, and you end up realize, like, dang, this could have happened after the fact, But it turned to a habit the way my approach was. And then sometimes I might come to with a different approach, where they might see the light. Even when I was in politics, but either when I got out of politics, I can have a more rational conversation to make that side understand where I'm coming from. So you won't try to, do something that you're gonna regret.
Do you think you got to some of these people?
Oh yeah, definitely, and cause.
Have any police ever approached you and say, "Hey, man," behind the scenes, say, "Hey, I hear what you're saying."
Oh yeah, a whole bunch of them.
Mm.
I mean, because they understood where I was coming from.
Mm.
It was a mutual thing. It's like, I see what you were saying.
Mm.
Because they go through things that they don't want to do.
Mm.
It's the same thing. We're part of the same system. It's like I'm a part of a system that's not tied to. It's tied, but the people who lead me, is not per se, quote unquote, a member of their association, whatever. I'm just affiliated with this association, and they affiliated with this association. So both of our associations saying, this is how you do it. Don't do it no other way. This is how we say do it. And if you don't do it, now you out of here, we're going to get rid of you. So you still want to be a part of it, so you keep going.
Mm-hmm.
Just like the police, you're going to, either you don't, you're going to get fired. And then they put you on a guilt trip or whatever. And then you be like, dang, I got to keep going with this. But you can see when you do have a conversation, a rational conversation, their minds start playing with them on, like, dang, but I'm still stuck. I got to do it because I done signed up for it. What else am I going to do? What else am I going to do?
Because I heard Malcolm X say one of the only ways we're going to get past stuff is we can sit down and have something to the effect that we have a rational conversation. So I feel like a lot of times when we yelling at each other, some of that might get lost in that. And if you had a son, you got boys, you got sons. If one of your sons came to you and say, I want to join a movement or political movement the same way you did, what would be your advice to them?
My advice would be create your own. Have your own thoughts. You set up a platform, your own program, the way you see it. Mm-hmm. Now, if I don't join nothing, create your own. With your own thoughts, your own beliefs, whatever you done heard, whatever somebody done taught you, go from your heart on what you think that is good. Without you having to watch a video about the Black Panthers, without you having to look at Farrakhan, Elijah Muhammad, just doing from your own heart. Because that's what I was doing. When I was a part of politics, I got criticized for doing what was from my heart. Mm. When it comes from him, people know you real, even if you're wrong. Even if you saying the wrong thing or doing it the wrong way, it come out the wrong way, people know, like, dang, this person, he really feel this. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? So I think people respect that more than anything. Because I think even when I was saying things that wasn't rational, but they understood the passion that I had. Like, is this dude for real? This dude sounds serious, and he's standing his ground on this. So is it real? Mm. So they got to question it. You see what I'm saying? Because why would he go this hard? Right. Why would he be so passionate and so adamant about what he feel, what he think, what he believe? You see what I'm saying? Even as well with the police. Yeah. You like, hey, you must believe in what you was taught. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what you was taught. But then you go to thinking for yourself. Right. Then you start thinking different. You start thinking for somebody else.
So where you stand today with politics?
I don't believe in politics. I'm not into politics.
Because a lot of people probably think you still, the way you went so hard, a lot of people might think you still involved in the politics the way you was. But you saying you're not involved in like you was.
Yeah, a lot of people do think that I'm part of politics. But I figured out what politics is. Politics is a system. And you want to be in or you want to be out. And I don't want to be a part of no system. No system. My system was within me. Mm-hmm. Me being a part of something that was created before me, that means you being led. So if you being led, you can be easily led by foolishness. You can be misled. Because somebody that created something, that means, okay, they right because they created it. You know what I'm saying? Being led. That means like I always say, what is free? What is free? What is being free? Free is not being led. You might, because you being led. Even if you choose, you voluntarily say, I want to be a part of this, you still being led. You're not doing nothing on your own. It's not your opinion. It's somebody else's opinion. You know what I'm saying? So no matter what association, whatever you join, whatever system you join, it's somebody else's. You know what I'm saying? So no, I'm politics. I don't go by that because it's always a system in politics.
And I watched you after you got out of politics. Do you feel, and this is I just observed, do you feel like you might have got closer with, do you feel like you more into the family aspect now, or you, what are you doing now? What is your goal? Like, what is your philosophy, or do you even have philosophy on this thing, you know? I know you say you don't follow nobody, that type of stuff like that, but what you know?
Yeah, based on me, you know, not being a part, but being led, you know, by anything. I'm talking about, I don't care what association or whatever, you know, being associated with it gave me time to really, you know, learn about me, understanding me, and like grappling with my own thoughts, you know, giving me time to think about what I believe, what is my belief, other than going by what somebody else believes. Because I always went by, because my love, you know, it's like a magnet to things that I might think that is good, that might be, and then I get attracted to it and then be a part of it. So I had to sit back and say, dang, I need to sit back and think on what I see, what I feel, what I believe within me, not what's in somebody else. So now it's like, I know I see now it's about my family, you know, it's about my family, and based on my research, because I've been researching a lot of stuff about this family thing, you know, because I always loved family, but I didn't understand like how was the structure supposed to be, you know, and that's something that I'm gonna talk about in the book that I'm gonna write. Right. I'm gonna get more details about this family thing, and that's what I want to really. That's what I'm really into right now. This family, and my book gonna expose a lot of stuff about family, and hope that I can create a program, you know, that targets, you know, the family issues that we have and values and stuff like that. You know, to make people understand, you know, because I don't want them to be a part of what I got going on. I'm just telling them my outlook on whatever. I don't want you to be a part of nothing that I got going on. Like I say, I don't believe in no system. I don't believe in being associated with nothing. I believe in the only association I want to be a part of is my family. That's the only association I want to be a part of. And hope people that can see that that's the most important thing in life. You know what I'm saying? Being associated with your family, with nothing else outside of that. You know?
Okay. And so I want to move forward. I mean, I noticed a lot of people notice you from, you know, working with different people. Jeff Lacey in the boxing, Winky Wright. I know that you was affiliated with J.Prince and all these type of people like that. How did you get into the boxing world? And when did that start?
Well, the boxing world came from childhood friend. And you know, me before even, you know, like growing up, you know, few of my friends, they had heard about a boxing club and they started going. Because before boxing, we used to have karate arm lessons and stuff at Silver Lake Park. You know, we used to learn karate, self-defense and stuff. And boxing came after that. You know, some local gyms around here, maybe one or two. And as teenagers, few of my friends used to go, and I heard, and you know, I started wanting to go, and it was basically me going just for self-defense, because that's what I grew up on with. You know, my family, you know, having people teach us kung fu, karate, and all this stuff. So it's basically based on self-defense, not to compete, you know. And because that's what was going on back then, and that's how, you know, me meeting Winky, you know, when he first moved here, that was the first thing he wanted to do is box, not to compete. He just wanted to do it like how we were doing. You know, he wanted to do it as a hobby, learn how to fight, just to, you know, for self-defense reasons and stuff. You know, better defend yourself. You know, and all of us was going in and out the gym, going in and out the gym, just know how to, you know, use your hands and stuff like that. So that's how I ended up getting in the boxing world when Winky, before Jeff Lacey, all of us used to go, but Winky had something about him that was different. You know, it came like natural to him. He had a love for it. You know, I think he wasn't as distracted as we were, you know, with like the streets or whatever. And it may be him not growing up in this city at the time might have played a big role, but who knows? I think that he just was born with it, you know, with the talent. So, you know, me hanging with him, me hanging together, you know, and boxing, you know, it kind of just out of the blue, just people start talking about us going to the gym, and then Winky started going to the gym a lot, and he started getting good. He started noticing, you know, he started getting good. But I was, you know, cutting hair basically on how I really got involved, like with going to major events. But before that, me and we were just friends. All of us was just friends. You know, a lot of my cousins was boxing. They was doing competition. Winky started doing it, even he didn't want to, but he started competing. We used to go to all the local little fights, Tampa, Clearwater, Port Gore, you know, local fights and stuff. And all of us used to just go. It was fun. It wasn't like we thought we was going to be no world champion or nothing like that. People was just doing it like for self-defense, and, you know, and it was fun. Then all of a sudden, you know, we could start getting a name, you know, for how good he was. And at the time, you know, I was going to school to be a barber, but actually I was going to school for cosmetology and, you know, to do hair. And as Winky was getting better and better, you know, he was like, hey man, you know, could you travel with me, you know, and cut my hair out while we on the road, you know, whatever. I'm like, yeah, man, you know, ain't no thing, I can do that, you know. And plus, we was tight, you know, like, you know, I always was there for him, you know. Ain't nobody gonna touch you. I ain't have to go to no boxing club. I learned skills, but my heart played a big role. And just not only that, the love that I had, you know, I had love from people who I was around, and people knew it. So he wanted me to be around him. So he wanted to be around me. So that's how I ended up getting to going to bigger fights, because not only just our friendship, but, you know, cutting his hair, you know, being there for him, you know, just support. Not knowing that it was going to take off like it did, but it just came from being supportive to him, you know. And then later on, he's like, man, you want to get in the corner with me, man, you know, because he wanted me to be there. He felt safe, you know, secure, you know. Like, oh yeah, I don't mind, you know, being in the corner with you, you know. Yeah, it's like now he having fights getting bigger and bigger. Like started introducing me to different people that was in the boxing business. And once he got up to a certain height in his career, I started meeting, known people that was in boxing and not only that, in the entertainment business, like J.Prince.
What was your relationship like? You just knew him in passing, or you actually
No,
knew him?
I knew Jay. I knew Jay. Jay, I met Jay through Winky because Winky met him through another friend of ours that boxed. That he ended up being Winky's manager. So me and Jay's relationship came from he heard that I was I cut hair real good, So he was like, "All right, tell your homie, man, ask him can he come out? Because this like times that, we get together and it's right before a fight and he might even get no haircut. You're like, I'll try your partner out, I'll cut his hair. And the first haircut, he was like, man, dang, bro, you can cut. Like, I done been in a lot of places, but God dang, ain't nobody cut my hair this good. So that's how that's how I got a relationship with Jay, from being cutting his hair.
Good dude. How was it?
Good dude, good dude. Laid back, real laid back. He was more like he had some ways where, he'll get out there laid back because Jay like to have fun, But Jay was real cool. He wasn't no sedity type of dude. He was down to earth type of dude, But you could tell he was a businessman. He's serious about his business. That came first before anything. So, but we ended up getting a good relationship. He was cool with me,
Because you hear stories in the industry about J.Prince and stuff, and I never knew, I never been around him. So for you to interact with him, I heard that he's a real serious guy, like and so you witnessed him. You witnessed him up front like he's a serious businessman.
Oh yeah, every time I cut his hair, he on his phone. He got his earplug in. He talking business 24/7. His work ethics in business is serious. Ain't nothing like ain't nobody like him. He put in the work, and that's what I think what make him special. Like every day, he thinking about business. He have fun now, but his business is important. He must have grown up that way because business is first with him. He's serious about that. And playtime is on his downtime when he want to have fun or whatever. But business is 24/7. He might, if he got playtime, it's just an hour or something of his day. But he a businessman. But he a good dude.
Yeah.
He a good dude.
And have you ever met any other boxers? Mayweather, Zab, Judah, any of those guys?
Yeah, I met all of them. I met all of them. Zab, Roy Jones.
You got any stories you can share about, like a Floyd Mayweather story you might be able to share with us or something?
Let me see. I could say one time that I remember hanging out in Vegas and I ain't had nobody to hang out with, and I forgot what the name of the club that was in Caesar's Palace. We used to all go to, and I think we had just got to Vegas for a fight, and I ain't had none of my homies had got there yet, because sometimes we get there before everybody else, I get to the club, and Floyd in there by himself, and he recognized me because he was being managed by J.Prince too at the time.
Okay.
So J.Prince was his manager at the time as Winky. So I remember him saying, "Hey man," he pointed me out like, "Hey man, wait man, St.Pete man, come on over here, hang out with me." I'm like, "All right man, I'll hang out with you." I hung out with him for a little bit. He offered me drinks and stuff because Florida, he a generous dude, but he's flamboyant at the same time. He's for sure of himself.
Okay.
He's a cocky dude, but I can see why. He the man, he raw now.
Okay.
He's one of the best out there. And I can see, I give ups to Floyd, but Floyd cool too at the same time. He was generous to, say, man, come and hang out with me or whatever, buy me a drink or whatever. Hung out with him. But there's other times that I done hung out with him while we was with Jay and J.Prince, homie, Antonio Leonard, a few times we done hung out together. Okay. I remember one time Floyd had this party after a fight. I forgot what club in Vegas, but I was trying to get in, and it was thick crowd. We got to the club late, and Floyd security was downstairs because you had to go up to where he was partying, that little area they had for him. And I hadn't got there late and trying to get in, and I couldn't. It was so thick I couldn't see him. Yeah. So he must have came to the balcony area, hanging out to the back. I'm yelling, trying to get his attention. He seen me, and I told the security, "Hey man, look, there go Floyd right there. He finna tell you to let me in here." So Floyd pointed like, "Man, you good? Let him come." I came up.
Okay, so he was a good dude.
He was good. Okay. He was a good dude.
Okay. Recently I saw a picture with you and Wink on the internet. And not to get too much into it, because I know you got your book and other stuff like that coming. But I heard that the boxing business could be a cutthroat business. And do you think, growing up with Winky Wright, do you think when people get into these certain circles of businesses and as they rise, do you think that it's, because I heard through the grapevine certain rumors that y'all might have not been seeing eye to eye at certain times or might have been fell out. Do you think that when you get to a certain level, when these certain people see the friends that these guys have hanging around, do you think that it's the money that changed some of these guys, or you think that it's people in some of these guys' ears that try to separate and break up friendships out here? And what was the rumors that I heard true? At some point, were you guys not seeing eye to eye?
Well, I'm going to say it like this because, I didn't have time to really evaluate like that situation with me and Winky and just the whole entertainment aspect, of boxing and just being in that world and having time to evaluate everything, just not on Winky but on my behalf, on me settling at times for things that I didn't have to settle for, and that's based on assuming, and when you assume, even though, you might have a situation where somebody might not be doing right by you, and if you're not speaking up in a sense where they understand that you like serious about, hey bro, what's going on now, so sometimes it might fall on you, but it is, you would assume that somebody would know how to treat somebody. But you can't, you have to, I think, just like any relationship, if you got a girl, whatever your preference is or whoever you want to see, I think that you have to speak up for yourself. Each individual say, hey, you're not going to treat me like this, else I'm going to do this or I'm going to do that or I'm going to leave or whatever, So I think on both parties, but you would assume that people would see things the way you see it. Like, do you think this is good on how you treat me? Or this is just how you do? This is how you treat people? Do I really know you? You know what I'm saying? Do you really know me? You know what I'm saying? So based on me sitting back, because I used to be kind of angry, kind of upset, on how things went. But then I had to reevaluate the whole situation where I put myself in situations where I didn't have to, based on thinking on goodwill, that somebody might have goodwill, some type of love for me in a sense. You might have love, but how even how you see yourself, how you think about yourself, because a lot of times it's about yourself, about you, how you deal with other folks. So I think that played a role, but I believe that, that situation, both played a role, in that, because, it's some evil people out there at the same time, but it comes from somewhere. And there's some good people out there. And I think it had to be a neutral thing on both parties seeing, eye to eye, seeing each other. And when that don't happen, and you can't see that, you have to move on and sit back and kind of reevaluate everything after things settle down, and then you can go back and say, dang, oh, maybe I could have did this. Maybe I should have said that. Maybe I should have left earlier. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I shouldn't have went too long on staying in. Right. But my love on how I was raised, everybody ain't raised the same way. You know what I'm saying? And even, I might have had certain things about myself that, that people didn't feel comfortable with, or whoever I might have been associated with at the time. Because you can be associated with somebody, they might feel a certain way about who you're associated with, you know what I'm saying? So that can be a effect on the person, on how they see you. Even you might not be that type of person who you associate with, but you get judged based on who you associate with. That may have been an issue, but I don't know until we really sit down and really talk about it. But we cool. I can see back then now that we both had some issues or whatever, but now I can go back and say, we cool, bro. I understand now. I can see it more clearly, and that, the judgment that I had about you being where I thought you would have seen where I'm coming from, that where I might have deserved more or better treatment from you, but it was up to me to say, do I want to go through it, or do I? Because you consume how people might treat you, and then you have to sometimes look at it. Hey, I'm a part of this too, so I could have been said, no, I'm done with this. Okay. But I let it keep on going.
So y'all good.
Yeah.
So before we wrap it up, what is Chief Stewart Mtundu? Where are you at today? I heard that you got fighters, or you doing your thing within the boxing still to this day. What are you focused on right now to today?
Mostly right now, I'm trying to focus on family. Family I think, is my most important thing. But recently, I had this young lady come to my house, asking me about boxing, about training her to box. And, I was kind of like, I didn't know if I wanted to do that based on what I had been through. Not just boxing, just dealing with people, period, And she was so adamant about me training because she had heard about me dealing with Winky and Jeff Lacey. And she asked me, well, if you can't train me, can you just show me some pointers? And I'm like, yeah, I'll work with you, Because, right now, when like how you asked the question about where I'm at, in my life right now, it's about not the training aspect of just showing her how to be a fighter, a great fighter, but just being a part of this young lady to teach her about life, about, learning about not just life, but just family, because whoever a part of me, I want them to understand how things can be better, like on your thoughts, and how you can make your life better on certain things about how you handle it, because being through what I've been through, it just taught me a lot how to handle different situations, in just life, period. But the family thing is the most important thing to me right now. That's what I'm trying to. Anything that I participate in is gonna be based on me participating in a way that I can make change on people understanding how much association and it'll be just a teaching because I don't really want you to be a part of it. I just want you to get some of the teaching of what my opinions are in the world based on family. And if it can help you, I hope it can. If you don't get it, I hope one day you might get it, and I hope somebody get it. That they won't be able to carry on living in a world where you confused and don't have no understanding on whatever problems you may be going through, and you can't explain it. You know what I'm saying? To make your situation better. That's I think that's more important than me than anything in the world. That's what I live the rest of my life for. To change people to have a better aspect on what you're living for, and I think it's family.
In this book, is this going to be a book about your life? Is it going to be just what can we expect in this book? And have you already started with your ideas about the book, or what's going on with that?
Yeah, I got a whole bunch of stuff written down, already that, about how I want this book to be played out. And it's going to be, my book going to be based on, it might have like 3 different chapters to it. It's going to be based on my personal life. And it's going to talk about politics and boxing. And at the end, it's just everything is going to be just based on family, because everything because everything that we do, I believe, and I believe most of the people do believe that it's based on your family, and they might don't know how to put it in an aspect where it works for everybody.
Right.
But I believe everybody do it for that reason. Because what else you got? And you ain't got nothing else. Who else you doing it for? You ain't the only person on the world. Because what would you be doing if you was the only person on the world? You probably wouldn't be doing nothing. Because what you doing it for? Other than eating. Do you want to live? So that's what it'll be for. And
do you, all the stuff you've been through, all the things, experience you've been through, do you have any regrets in life at this point?
I think everything that I've been through, I'm glad I went through the experience that I went through. Because I think if I would have, experienced the stuff that I experienced, being like a gnat on the wall, just like no purpose of being here, and I think all the obstacles and trials and tribulations that I've been through, it helped me educate myself within. And once that I realized that, I'm like, well, dang, I done been through a lot. And what I done been through was the education, other than school per se, on how I say, quote unquote, the system education. Just life education, life experiences helped me educate myself within. So now I can like, dang, okay, I educated myself within. Now I can help other people see, well, if this working for me, I hope it can work for you based on what I'm telling you, because it made me a better person. I'm a whole different person. Even being tied to politics at the time, me thinking that I'm doing the right thing or whatever I'm a part of. I think this is the best part of my life right now, me being within me, just dealing with me, trying to figure out who I am and using what I've been through to kind of make a change for me. Because once I change me, and even in the process of change, I can show people the stuff that I went through to make me this person that I am today. I hope that they can follow, by example. You know what I'm saying? So,
Respect. I appreciate that. Juan, you got any last things you want to say?
I want to it's going back a little bit, but I just want to know how you define family. or is that something that you thinking about, or do you know? Like, how do you like? It's like when people talk about community. How would we define a community? Is it just people who live close together, or the people who? So I'm not asking that. I'm asking, how do we define family?
I think it's more than one aspect because it's like because what I tell people all the time based on my research, and not just on the research, but how it plays in your life.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you learn, how do it unravel in your life?
Mm-hmm.
If you learn this, how do it play a role in your life? Mm-hmm. You can learn all kinds of stuff, but how it affect you in your life? Mm-hmm. What has that education done for you? Because a lot of people get an education, it don't do nothing for them. Mm-hmm. You just got this information that don't benefit you in your practical life. Mm-hmm. So now what is you learning this for? So now I can go back and say, dang, what I done learned, this what the transition, this what it transitioned into this. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? So now I can say, well, it's different aspects of family. Mm-hmm. The most important is family is the most sacred institution. It's an institution that you honor. What is honor? You see what I'm saying? Honor is a good thing. Mm. Being honorable, right, is a good thing. So that being sacred and having an institution combined together, and the institution is the structure. Mm. So that's what I understand. There's no structure. So once we put a structure to the institution, to the sacredness, then we can say, dang, this is what it is, because how it play, what role it's gonna play, what transition it's gonna make in your life. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. How it's gonna unravel. Mm-hmm. How it's gonna, what change it's gonna make in your life. You know what I'm saying? So now I look at it like, in different aspects of it. You know what I'm saying? What is family? What is family? And then when you can explain it and break it down, having honor in your family, having love, passion, and which route the institution takes to live a good life. What do you have to do to make this institution thrive? In a good manner. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I look at it. When we talk about family, because that's one aspect, and then the aspect I don't want to get too deep into it because the book going to explain a lot, even about the bloodline. Mm. The bloodline is another aspect of family, and we can get deeper into that in the book because the book going to explain what the bloodline means. What you mean?
So that's important.
That's a major factor, on our well-being. Mm-hmm. On the well-being of the human body, the human. Mm-hmm. What make you human? Like what make you be able to go through life and live a pure life. Mm-hmm. Pureness. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? On how your thinking ability, all that. It's serious. On that bloodline.
Yeah,
that's a good. Yeah, that's a wrap. I feel like it was a powerful interview, and like I said, go ahead, check him, tune to out, keep Stewart. You on social media, anything like that?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get on Instagram, create me a page, and right now I'm I got a Facebook page on the Keith Stewart, but right now it's just a tool just to be. It's a play page. It's not nothing that's serious. Once I start this book, I think I'm gonna start putting stuff out there where people can really, be a part of my thoughts on what I think or whatever, on what I'm trying to do in my life. Have a private page on that part.
Cause I feel like after this interview, a lot of people are gonna be checking it out and really looking. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like this is a powerful interview. Definitely, we shed a lot of light on a lot of stuff that I didn't know, and a lot of stuff that people in the city or just in general probably wanted to know and get to the bottom of, rumors, whatever, hearsay. So I'm glad that we can clear a lot of stuff up.
History.
Yeah.
And a perspective of a well-experienced perspective that is unique. So it's valuable in that and of itself. It's his own perspective.
Exactly.
I appreciate y'all, doing this. And this under what?
Tabernacle is going to be on Spotify. It's going to be on Apple.
Oh, it's under Tabernacle?
Mm-hmm. Tabernacle is the podcast name. Look for that. And then we're going to be uploading. It'll be right on Spotify. You can listen to it. If you don't have Spotify, get the application. If you got an iPhone or whatever, it's going to be on Apple, iTunes, and stuff like that.
Yeah, I appreciate Tabernacle, having me here right now, doing the interview, and y'all being my family at the same time. Mm-hmm. I'm grateful for it, because it's been a long time coming, and I know people want to hear, the story, hear my, point of view about how I think, but I really appreciate this interview. I've been waiting for a long time.
We gotta do some more too. We gonna follow up.
We definitely gotta follow up on stuff. And like I said, if you like what you hear on the Tabernacle, feel free to donate, leave tips. That way we can go ahead and better our site and better this, this podcast, and just make it something that people want to hear and continue to listen to. So definitely, I appreciate that. We all appreciate it from Tabernacle.
We out.
We out of here.